We ready? All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. City of Lamarck Fire Association Collective Bargaining Agenda of April 22nd, 2025. Notice is hereby given that the City of Lamarck and the Lamarck Professional Firefighters Local 3282 will conduct a meeting on April 22nd, 2025, beginning at 10 a.m. in council chambers at 1109B Bayou Road, Lamarck, Texas. In accordance with Section 551.127B of the Texas Local Government Code, the presiding officer and the quorum of the negotiating teams intend to be and will physically be present at 1109B Bayou Road, Lamarck, Texas. This location will be open to the public, and the meeting will be broadcast at this location on Channel 16 and via YouTube. The representatives will meet for the purpose of considering the following agenda. The meeting has been called to order. At this time, I will begin a roll call. We would simply need your name and the organization that you are representing today. My name is Keith Bell. I serve as mayor for the city of Lamarck.
J.B. Pritchett, interim city manager, city of Lamarck.
Gus Knable, I'm the outside city attorney for the city of Lamarck.
You don't have to.
Cody Chandler, President, Local 3282.
I'm Isaiah Reyes, Vice President for Local 3282.
Jody Martinez, a member of Local 3282.
Thank you. In his absence, Chief David Merriman is also a member of the city's negotiation team. Do you all have any members of your negotiating team that are not present with us at this time?
Are we
Yeah.
call Mark?
Yeah, you might mention that too.
We may call Mark Madrano, who is the state rep for our association for the international firefighters.
Okay, very good. We move now to invocation and pledge of allegiance. Mr. Pritchett, would you lead us in our invocation? Would all three of you fine gentlemen lead us in our pledge after the invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for coming together to better serve our community, to better serve our fire department, as well as the residents and the citizens of Lamarck. Lord, I pray that as we continue out today, we do it justly, we do it appropriately, and continue to strive for greatness in this community as we build your kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Pritchett. Thank you, gentlemen. We are now moving to citizen participation, limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments from the public will be heard at this time. Any person with city-related business who has signed up may speak to council, limited to 3 minutes. If wishing to speak, give the mayor or the presiding officer your full legal name, your address, and item you wish to speak about. Compliance with Texas Open Meetings Act, the city may not deliberate on comments. Personal attacks will not be allowed, and personnel matters should be addressed to the city manager during normal business hours. Press *6 to mute or unmute yourself if you're participating via telephone. Press the unmute button if you are participating via Zoom. That button should be a microphone icon in the lower portion of your screen. If you are on a smartphone, tablet, or computer using the Zoom platform, if you're here in person, you may approach over to my left. There is a podium, and Mr. Knable will certainly allow you to use the mic that he is using, and you may speak at that time. Avery, are there any persons online wishing to speak? Very good. Are there any persons here physically with us wishing to speak? Very good. We'll move on to new business items presented to council for discussion and possible action. Item 5.1, establishing a process or processes and procedures for negotiations. Let me say on behalf of the great citizens of Lamarck, welcome to the Local 3282 of the International Association of Firefighters. On behalf of the great citizens of Lamarck, we want to personally thank you. This past contract that we have worked with you under, you all have done nothing but grow and train and expand your abilities and your capabilities. And you have proven yourselves to be one of the elite fire departments, not only in our county, but I believe in our state. You all are hardworking. You're quiet. You don't, yes, you are quiet. We enjoy the working relationship, the citizens of Lamarck, the residents of Lamarck. Nothing but good things coming from our residents as it relates to our fire department. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are grateful. And we are certainly excited about what the future holds for the Lamarck Fire Department. And so I wanted to open up and lead off by giving you your flowers because you deserve it. Moving from that, establishing today a process or processes and procedures for negotiations. Our lead negotiator from the city side will be Mr. J.B. Pritchett. As many of us know, this table can only hold those members that are designated as representatives. And so that's why there are a few folks around the table and perhaps other folks around the room so that we can keep that distinction and that separation. But we will yield the floor to Mr. J.B. Pritchett at this time, who will be the lead spokesperson for your group.
That'd be myself, President Chandler.
Very good, very good. Let's yield the floor to Mr. Pritchett, and then we will follow with President Chandler as a response.
Good morning. Good morning to all involved. I think today, today's our formality day more than anything else. And I would kind of lead off with anything of, again, to give you your due flowers, because we know just from being with the city the last several years and obviously the history and whatnot that we'd eventually get here. I look at each and every three of you as not only members of the union, but representatives to the people of your organization. And I thank you for that serving. I've worked with y'all for a number of years. So the formality of this, if anything, is just, again, that formality. As today, I think what we are here to do is to obviously have the understanding of the negotiating committee so that we can all understand the process of this. One of the things that we have said already, frankly, as we walked in the door this morning, was just the responsibility that all of us feel towards the citizens and the residents of the city of Lamarck, and how we make sure that this is done appropriately, that this is done justly, that this is done swiftly, because I would much rather our people focus on what their true job is to do, and that's to provide the utmost service to our community. So with that, as the chief negotiator of this time, also with legal in the room, it is probably my responsibility and diligence to say even there could be a change, obviously a change in role, but you have my commitment not only for negotiations, which is not unheard of for a deputy city manager to do, but for us to see this through at the end. I don't want to make sure that anything kind of takes us off mission. And y'all understand just my background and y'all's background of working together when I say taking us off mission. Our mission is to make sure we get this done, squared away, and all the above. Chandler, Reyes, Martinez, again, for the negotiation sessions, more than anything else today, you have submitted a fine-looking proposal. Thank y'all for bringing that as well as the backup documentation that you have submitted to us this morning. I know it will be fun to chew through. I know that it will be informative. I know as chief negotiator, we talk a lot of this stuff out. And if anything, for the citizens of Lamarck, for the union, the local union, and everyone. Mr. Knable, who is the outside legal counsel for the city of Lamarck, is here as not only a legal history of how things were done the last time, but then how we can best kind of see this over the finish line, what we keep talking about of getting the mission accomplished. And so I know today, obviously, your submission of, I guess, the ask, what I've already looked through when we first sat down was the summation pages, very quickly, very briefly, but I will say first and foremost, I'm thankful of how y'all three put that together. It's going to be easy for us, our side, to digest it, and I look forward to when we are able to come back through this process, being able to kind of take a little bit more time for us to dig through that. I know that if you turn your eyes to our ground rules of collective bargaining, and I didn't know, if this was attached to the meeting, was it not? So I don't have to read through each and every aspect of this.
we don't
Okay,
have to
I
read
just
through
thought
it.
so.
We have to read through it to ourselves. so
Yes,
we know
sir.
what we're-
Yes, sir.
but we don't have to read it out loud.
Absolutely. I was hoping not. I just wanted to point out for the sessions more than anything else is that for scheduling all the above, it's important for me, for all of us, that we're doing this on appropriate days. Am very respectful that y'all's schedule is sometimes here, there, and everywhere. I want us all to be at our best. I don't care how much black coffee, rock stars, whatever. It doesn't quite do us justice if we're not all there. So for these sessions, more than anything else, I want to do y'all the same respect. I don't want you to be, dragging off a heavy, having to go shower and walk over here to sit here for the times that we have to sit here and discuss all this stuff. I want everybody to be tip top. And so with that, just the scheduling of things, I want to make sure that we all at least understand that. I know you'll have a responsibility and whatnot, but during this time in the city and of negotiations, we're at least doing y'all that service of not trying to get you as soon as you're rolling off of a shift, and sometimes two shifts straight. So I definitely appreciate that again. The presentation proposals, so far, I kind of went over that. It is my responsibility for us to also know and understand that these are active negotiations. They are being broadcast. They are being, televised and all the above. But for any of the back and forth, for us to keep that on the up and up and the straight and narrow, that's the whole point of, President Chandler and myself to do that. Again, we've worked together a few years. We don't have a problem communicating. And so I think that, through that, it just doesn't muddy the water. Again, we do the public a justice. You do your union members a justice, and that will definitely get us closer to where we need to be. What the other procedure that I have from anything else is obviously the understanding and some time to go through your proposal. If you wanted to go through a summary of your proposal, I'll leave that up to you.
Okay.
But we can go through some of it together if you'd like to outline it. If you want to hit 3 high points or something like that, we would obviously need some time to chew through it since you did submit it. But other than that, I yield the floor to you, President Chandler.
Let's, do you all, before we get into that, do you all agree to these ground rules?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Just want to make sure we establish
Thank
that on record. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I apologize for my chicken scratch, but I have written everybody's names down.
Okay.
So we'll circulate those
Okay.
for signature afterwards. And like Mr. Pritchett and the mayor said, the purpose is really just to help, to be efficient. to
Yes.
Provide a framework so that we can move along.
Exactly.
Welcome.
All right, thank you. So first, we want to say thank you. The negotiations 3 years ago, we worked hand in hand, and we brought the department up to where it needed to be very competitive with the rest of the county. Now, to summarize this packet, we've gone through and we looked at things that need to come up to par now. A lot of the asks that are in this packet, as far as the certification pays have not been adjusted since, I want to say 2012. And that's when you introduced paying our paramedics the $500 certification pay. So we're looking at one, bringing the certification pay up for certain certifications, but we're also looking at adding certifications that we've identified the need because those needs are coming to the city as far as hazmat techs. You know, we have heavy industrial that comes through here. Our officer pays certifications. Those certifications, when officers obtain those, it gives you a higher degree officer that's better trained for all aspects of their job, as well as certain certifications of members that have obtained that benefits, not only benefits our members, but it benefits the citizens. You're getting a better quality firefighter, a highly trained firefighter, and not only that, the citizens will receive those benefits, whether it's our paramedic pays, our certifications for CPR instructors, because we have started the community CPR classes that we're teaching, as well as we're looking at adding some holidays that the city recognized or after we had our negotiations, and then a schedule change from our regular 9-day rotation that we're on now to a 48-96.
Thank you.
And then I will say also, each packet, so we divided it into packets, and each page has what's in the packet tabs, and it gives you a breakdown of what the certification is currently at to what we would like to go to. And then our other packets have our COLA increase, adding certain holidays, and then the schedule change, as well as in the very back of your packet, it has a breakdown overview of the difference between a 48-96 shift and the regular 9-day cycle rotation that we're on currently. And then in each packet, we also broke down what the certification is, what they do, and why it's feasible for us to have these certifications.
Who is George McNeil?
So George McNeil is one of our union members who, again, it wasn't just us three, it was the union collectively. So
So he's a member of the Lamarque Fire Department?
yes, sir. He
Okay.
is a member of the Lamarque Fire Department, Local 3282 as well.
Okay.
And he took all the information that we gave him and basically compiled everything into the nice packet that you have now.
Gotcha. So who did so it's not that he did the feasibility report. He was the one that compiled it for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
So who did the feasibility report?
So it's from different departments like Sugarland and stuff like that. We got their data from what
Okay.
they acquired, and it shows there that, you know, overtime dropped and sick time dropped due to the schedule change, because you get a little bit more time off instead of the schedule we're at right now.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Kind of like when we did our pay comparisons.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
did our comparison cities. So I reached out to a lot of the same people
sure,
for this information.
sure. Gotcha.
And on the back of packet one with incentives, we put a spreadsheet showing who currently has what incentives. As you're aware, that we've had the same incentives for years now. And currently, we don't have that much of a high percentage. So we want to make our fire department better than it is by adding incentives for those classes would get our department in a better standard and motivate to take classes and just operate as far as like professional ways, professional development.
You said this is as we sit today.
As we sit.
As we sit
yes,
today,
this
exactly.
is The current membership and the certifications that they have.
And the reason we put that on there is we wanted to show, so we've had these incentives for years now and we don't have everybody. So all these incentives would take, the city wouldn't see really a big burden for years because these classes take, classes take months, some classes take years to get. So it'll be a slow process that if we started, we're gonna see benefits later on in the future. So we're trying to plan for the future.
And I will say, some of the certifications that we have in the packet is a minimum. You have to serve 3 years before you could even go and take that class.
Absolutely.
So it's not like we hire someone and then right away, oh, we have to pay. No, they have to wait 3 years.
The years, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So-
sir.
I may reach out for some of those questions just so that I have that of record too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
And,
yeah, go ahead.
One of the things I wanted to mention, sorry about the 4896, that's actually starting to become the industry standard now. Galveston Fire Department runs that now. Sugarland, Pearland, a lot of these big departments now, that's becoming the industry standard. Because it has shown to, one, lower overtime costs, lower sick time usage, as well as the vacation usage because of the breaks that you get in between your shift.
And it creates where, it makes it open for firefighters that don't live in the immediate Galveston County area to be able to work here because with our current schedule right now, you have to come in and out 3 times a tour. And some people may live an hour away. Some people, you're running late calls, you get off at 9, you ain't getting home till 10 o'clock in the morning. You've been up the whole entire night, where 4896 is you come in one time, and then you do 2 days and then you get to go home. So, and on the packet, it shows there, we currently have a Kelly Day, which we would be willing to give up. So that would mean we would work a little bit more, but to get this better schedule. Because currently we have a Kelly Day, so it doesn't put us in an
Yeah,
overtime.
the couple days for the FLSA
Mhm.
overtime. And you said, Dave, let me get this out, JB, if
Sure.
you're younger than me. See, I almost forgot it. You said willing to give up,
Mhm. Currently, we have it right now, but if I'm correct. we
but if
don't-
it's law, right?
Yeah.
If it's law, then that's not something that you can be willing to give up. Unless, are you suggesting that
With the schedule
the
change.
schedule will
Schedule.
eliminate that?
Yeah.
Would
Absolutely.
eliminate
I got
that,
you.
Yeah.
I
would
got you.
eliminate the need.
It
for
will eliminate
Gotcha.
the need for it,
Because
because
that's what I was about to ask. You have to take a
Yeah.
Kelly Day within how many, it's how
every
many,
27 days.
every 27 days. And so what this,
Yeah.
I think what they're saying is what this schedule does is the way that the schedule
eliminates
works,
that.
it
The times.
eliminates.
I got you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
So,
That's where I was getting at too. I was trying to
Yeah.
all right,
understand.
so currently, right now, with our Kelly Day and the staffing that we have, some of us have not been able to take that Kelly Day off. So the city is paying basically 12 hours of overtime.
I remember seeing
So
that. Yeah.
also with the Kelly Day that we have off, yes, it is a free vacation day. But if we are not at minimum staffing, we either have to hire back or that person gets first rights to
And what's
work
your,
it.
and what's your current minimum staffing? 2 stations?
2 stations at minimum is 8. We have when we are fully staffed, we have 5 at each station, which is 10, which allows for 1 person off and 1 person on Kelly Day, which would drop us to the 8. Unless we have someone who calls in sick, then we'll either back hire or we have who's ever on their Kelly Day work their Kelly Day.
What is the total amount of staff personnel on a shift
10
total?
total, 5 at each station.
And what is y'all's cap on vacation flights?
Right now, we can only have one person off on vacation
Out of,
out of 10. So that leaves you 9, and then that person on that Kelly day will have to take that off, which means that will drop you to 8.
that's not enough. I got you. Couple of questions about you all's, certs.
Yes, sir.
Just basic questions. There is one person on this entire list that has incentive for being a basic EMT. Clearly, that's an incentive that we're doing away with because all of our basic firefighters that hire in basic firefighter, basic EMT. So, and I'm asking that because when you look at the bottom of you all's list, I would assume that these are newer firefighters. Is that right?
Actually, the firefighter you're talking about is grandfathered in.
Right.
So the basic certification pay is no longer
That's my
a
question.
yes.
Because at the bottom of the list, the newer personnel looks like
Yes.
they don't have any of that. incentive.
No, sir.
So my question was, the reason that one person is still receiving that pay is because that person was grandfathered.
Yes, sir.
The newer folks that come through, that is not.
No, sir.
Okay.
So we will hire you as a firefighter basic and then put you through school to obtain your advanced as well as your paramedic. And you're looking at 2 years of schooling roughly. So again, that's another 2 years of certifications that the city is not taking a big hit on right away.
Right. And that's one of the main reasons why we really want to push for the incentive pay for paramedics, because there's just a national shortage in paramedics everywhere. They're a dime a dozen. You can't find them. So this can promote, getting firefighter paramedics that are already gone through 2 years of school and they can hit the boots, running as soon as they get hired, instead of, having to settle for a firefighter basic that still needs a couple of years of school.
Right.
And then, training and then, doing all that. So the city would save money.
Is this, in which section of these certs, does it include, education? Is that the AABSMS column? I'm on page right before packet 2.
Oh,
Your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because I remember looking through it. I just want to see if that column that says AA 75.
So that is for if,
Education.
That's your
Okay,
education.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir. That's
Yeah.
your associates, your bachelor's, and your master's degrees.
Packet 3. Refresh my memory about the EMS captain and the deputy fire marshal as to why they were excluded from you all's collective bargaining unit.
At the time, the deputy fire marshal was a position that the city or the department was looking to add. So he was not, that position wasn't even created yet.
Okay.
And the EMS captain at the time,
It never actually got put on.
yeah,
it-
it was never.
went into
Yes,
article.
Yeah.
never, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So we're looking.
Kind
to
of an
add the-
oversight.
Yes,
It
sir.
was, we had
Okay.
more pressing matters at the time.
okay. Let me ask you this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's just one question on top of that. But at all times, and this is a question, did we treat, we being the city, we being the fire department, did we treat that EMS captain as if they were a member of the collective bargaining unit?
Yes.
Okay, cool, good.
As well as the deputy fire marshal.
Yes.
That was gonna
They
be my
are-
question.
They are entitled.
Well, the
they
reason,
are entitled
okay.
to join the union. if they so choose.
But they have been receiving benefits from the
Yes.
union.
Absolutely.
Yes.
sir.
Like they have been
Yeah.
receiving the same certification pay. They have been receiving
Yes.
all of the things.
Yes.
Everyone that's employed with Lamar Fire benefits from our contract,
Okay,
whether union members or not.
okay. But as non-members,
The only thing that the contract doesn't afford non-members is like arbitration.
okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you. That's where my
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
brain was going. Can you speak to how you currently handle holidays? Because obviously I understand the need of them, especially these two. But if you can speak to how you handle holidays, and then I'm assuming that these were added to the city calendar after the last negotiation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with that assumption, if you can just kind of walk me through like how you handle operations, because
So basically, they give us 132 hours at the beginning of each year prorated,
Mhm.
and each holiday is 12 hours, and we get to choose when we can use them.
Mhm.
It's pretty simple.
Okay.
So we don't, because obviously we can't all take off on
Sure.
Christmas or Thanksgiving Day.
I've shared a wonderful dessert at the firehouse on Thanksgiving. So
Okay.
yes, sir, very, very familiar.
So yeah, so right now, we wanted to add Juneteenth and Veterans Day since the city recognizes those as a holiday, and we
And it
like-
would, it effectively, just to clarify, would add an additional 24 hours of a holiday bank.
Yes, sir.
But depending on which shift is working, which days, what is needed, it would allow you to utilize
Yes,
those
sir.
Yes.
for operational needs.
For instance, me and him are both veterans, and
I understand. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm asking,
Yeah.
right? That's,
And one of the things I will add, when a new member is hired on, they go into a probationary status. So
okay,
for the first year of probation, they are not allowed to use vacation.
okay,
So, but they are allowed to use holiday.
okay,
So what this affords those members is if they have something that comes up that they really need the day off, they could use their holiday time versus vacation, which under probation, they're not allowed to use.
sure.
And you accrue, just so that we're clear, we being the people of Lamar, you accrue the holiday time only when you're working that holiday.
No,
Or
so
do you accrue it? In other words, if I'm not working Juneteenth, I still accrue that day?
yes.
Okay.
So January 1st, our holiday time, we right now we receive 132 hours to pair throughout the year.
Well, I would say allotted, not
It's
Not
allotted.
accrued.
for the
Yes.
year, not accrued, right?
What
So everybody still gets the holiday, but if he works Friday, he works Saturday, and he works Sunday, and the holiday falls on the Saturday, then he's already gonna work, but he gets the same holiday. He's not working Saturday, but he may, instead of, and Martinez could be in his first year. If he ends up being the one that has to do that, then he can take that, the holiday rather than the vacation.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm asking is, so what you're saying, Mr. Martinez, is January 1, we have 11 holidays right now. You all receive 11 days in addition to your vacation days
yes.
And sick time.
and sick time.
Yes.
How many vacation days year is it 5 shifts?
yeah, 5 shifts.
So, yeah. For the first 5 years, it's 5 shifts.
So when you are a probationary firefighter, you cannot use your sick time, cannot use your vacation time, but you can use this holiday pay is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
And so if you start off and you're a probationary firefighter and say you start in May, whatever holidays were before May, you don't get those. You get the ones from when you started
start date.
over.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
unless you've been
Thank you.
working since,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
so you don't get all of them.
Yeah, okay.
But if you've been working here, 5 years and January starts, then obviously you.
And so that's, so then this is all subject to the approval of, who, in larger departments, the battalion chief
Yes, sir.
does the scheduling.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are a smaller department. I don't necessarily know if it is the senior captain of the shift or if it's the deputy chief. But my question is, somebody has to approve
Yes, sir.
you using your holiday pay.
Yes, sir.
And if you're always at the limit of your minimum manpower, then those days don't get approved.
Exactly. We always make sure that, you know, before we schedule those holidays, that we're not gonna go in
So
overtime.
nobody, here's my question, Mr. Reyes, nobody is leaving December 31st into January 1st with unused holiday hours.
Well, typically, we haven't really experienced that yet. In years past, yes, several of us had a lot of unused time,
Absolutely.
Holiday time.
Yes, sir.
vacation time, sick time,
I get vacation time because you can accrue it
right?
Yeah.
and it builds. What happens to holiday time?
It goes
They go
away.
It goes away. It's
That's what I'm
use or
trying to-
lose. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
The holiday is use or lose.
gotcha.
So
Could you speak to the current CBA for when does vacation and sick expire for y'all? Does it accrue year over year? Do you only accrue and cap out at a certain amount?
there is a cap out.
And if, I mean, we can read into
yeah.
it if we need to read into it. I just didn't know if you,
It's in our current.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
We follow the CBA for vacation and sick time follows the city policy for personnel.
Okay, thank you. Packet 4 is just the rotation change, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's an abundance of information.
for sure.
on
That's fine with me. Just wanted to make sure we outline. Holidays.
Right here, we got one on packet 3 for unspent boot allowance.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And I wanted to see if one of our asks is if we could make it to where we put a time frame for our members to purchase their boots. You know, right here we got March 1st, and whoever doesn't purchase boots, like that funds can be allocated to our quartermaster in our department so that he can use that funds to buy us uniforms. Because currently we just don't have enough money for rain jackets or shirts and stuff like that. And a lot of times boots don't get purchased and that money just goes back to general funds.
Are you all allotted per staff person a cap on the amount of financial resources you can expend to keep your uniforms up? In other words, is it 700 per person?
So
Does Cody get, a run on $2,000 worth of t-shirts and then
go ahead.
and then Jody has $50 worth of?
So currently, right now, our CBA dictates that every year the city has to provide, I believe it's 3 t-shirts, 3 polos, 3 pairs of pants is what the city
Is it
is supposed to
nothing
allot.
for winter weather?
Winter weather, they provide, our jackets, of course.
That's not in our.
Yeah, everything's provided from the department. The boot allowance is provided for members because not one boot works for everybody. So currently, right now, members purchase their own boots. We reimburse, I believe it's 125. We're looking at increasing that to at least minimum of 200. You can't get a good pair of boots for $125 anymore. So the boots currently, they last, if you get a good pair of boots, you can make them last 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year. But after that, you're going to need another pair of boots because we're constantly moving. We're constantly on our feet between, car wrecks on the highway. So boots need to be replaced. So that's one of the things we're looking at is, 1, we increase the boot allowance. 2, we set a cap on the day. Hey, you have 6 months. If you don't buy boots in 6 months, we're going to transfer those funds to our quartermaster. So if we need extra raincoats or extra traffic vests, he can go purchase those and we're not having to wait until next budget cycle because there'll be a, a new fund coming in for that.
Would those, items, raincoats, coats, safety vests, things of that nature, would they be distributed to individual staff members or would they be
Per shift.
per shift?
So it will be distributed to individual staff members. So that way we're not sharing jackets, we're not sharing traffic vests. You're responsible for the equipment that you're issued. And it's also, we have it in, it's actually one of our SOGs. If you have equipment that is damaged or needs replacing, it is your responsibility to inform the quartermaster, hey, I need to replace this, so the quartermaster can get it replaced for you.
Yeah, because I remember even hearing, obviously someone would not have a jacket or, need a new pair of boots and wouldn't say anything. And obviously I understand that boots are different, but if you don't tell anybody and your suspender's broken, it's just safety pin is holding it together, we need to operate a little bit better than that.
Exactly.
So. And for clarity, the quartermaster is a union position, is it not?
No,
Okay.
as of right now, Captain Briggs of the Fire Marshal Office
Okay.
also takes that role
Okay.
of quartermaster.
Okay.
So again, the fire department, we're a jack of all trades, masters in none. We're doing multiple dual roles in our department.
So he takes care of ordering the essential gear and uniforms
Yes.
for all of your members.
Yes,
Except for bunker gear. Bunker gear is,
is member Martinez, union member Martinez is in charge of bunker gear.
and then, so another ones that it's in the incentives list that we were trying to see about was to add 2 hours for investigators that are on call over the weekends. So typically a lot of police departments and, fire departments, when somebody's on call, that means that they're kind of stuck where they're at. They really can't go out because they have to be able to report to a fire scene within a given notice. So we're looking to see if we could get 2 hours of overtime for them when they're on call for the weekends.
One on-call investigator?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Those are the investigators from that list, correct?
Well, and it depends on who is on call they
I understand, but
Yeah.
is that fire
Yeah.
investigator or arson investigator?
It's the arson
Arson
investigators
investigator.
investigators from the fire marshal's office.
Thank you.
So, each week they rotate on who's on call for the whole week, including the weekend. So, the 2 hours would be for just Saturday, Sunday.
Weekend only?
Yes, hey, it's the weekend, you're on call. You can't plan anything with your family.
Don't be out of town.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
give you a little compensation for it.
And it would strictly be limited to the fire marshal's office arson investigators or any of these arson?
Well, it can be
investigators?
any of the other
Any of these
investigators.
arson
Yes.
investigators.
Yeah,
So that would be a management's rights,
absolutely.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Another big one too is the PAT test, the PAT test, we currently get $250 a quarter. And we were trying to raise that up to 2,000. Talking to different members in this department, we're seeing that, PD's getting 2,000. We're hoping to see if we could raise ours up to that same amount as well.
Let me go back before we get into Pat.
Yes, sir.
The one person that would not benefit from this arson investigator call out would be the fire chief, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I see him on here as an arson
Yeah.
investigator. He does not investigate fires in, right?
No, sir.
Doesn't do that anymore. Okay.
No, sir.
Yes, Mr. Reyes, I think that's logical. to have them equal, yeah,
Our job is very physically demanding,
sure.
and our department, we take pride in making sure that our guys are physically capable of performing when the call drops. And so that motivation, for them quarterly would help our department out tremendously.
What is the difference between officer grade pay, those certifications?
So your officer 1, 2, 3, and 4. So officer 1, that is a introductory on how to become either, a supervisor. Your officer 2, that gets more into now you're dealing with minor budgetary, personnel, issues, whether it's discipline, awards, promotions, simple investigations. You're able to initiate say a arson investigation. You're able to initiate that until the investigator gets there. Your 3 and 4, those are where you're getting into now your chief officer level type, your battalion chief level of personnel management, resource management
And you
and then-
receive those through schooling.
through schooling. And then your officer 4, that requires a minimum of a associate's degree, I believe. Or it may be a master's. But yeah, your officer 4, that one requires your schooling through TCFP as well as college education as well.
Instructors do we have? Fire instructors.
I don't think we have it in here.
No, it's not.
Okay. Currently right now, every captain in the department is a instructor, as well as the deputy chief and the fire chief. We're all at minimum level 1 instructor. Some have taken it upon themselves to obtain their level 2 and level 3.
Every captain?
Every captain is level 1 at minimum. So that's 6. Plus, we've had other individuals in the department who went and obtained it either prior to joining or after they joined. They went on their own to attain that instructor certification.
What are you all responsible for? Is this annual in-house firefighter continuing education training?
So as of right now, we train every single day. Every day there's something being trained on by our members. One, again,
Captains leading instruction.
captains
for the
leading
most
the
part.
instructors for the most part. We lead the instructor.
6
Oh.
captains total.
Yes.
Okay.
With the instructor pay or the instructor certification, one, we can add those hours in, and that goes to when we do our TCFP audit, that goes towards the, I want to say 200 hours that's required, along with the 21 hours that's minimum. And then, as we obtain higher certifications, when we go do our live fire trainings, instead of having to pay other people from other departments to be there to be instructors, our members can lead that themselves. And with the higher certification, or the higher you go between 2 and 3, we can actually start doing in-house certification training. Instead of having to send members to other places, we can actually hold it
When
at
you
the
do it, when you
department.
have an instructor 2 and an instructor 3,
Yes,
you
sir.
can do it in-house. And
Yes,
when you
sir.
say do it in-house, you are referring to
Pretty much any certification.
that is recognized.
That is
by
recognized by-
Texas Commission on Fire Protection.
Yes, sir.
Which then leads to certifications that allow members to become eligible for incentive pay.
Yes, sir.
How far away are we from that?
As far as
Like, do we
the,
have an instructor too? Do we have an?
I believe
I'm the
you're,
instructor three.
Okay,
So, that would be working with the chief and trying to figure out, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into even creating a program like that.
okay.
So that would still take some time, but it could be done.
A program like what, Mr. Pritchard? What program?
What you were referring to as far as him being able to teach a class,
Is that what I think?
Lead a class.
curriculum,
To make them eligible.
to make them
receive the higher
eligible
levels of
to
certification.
receive that.
so as of right now, the way, it is handled is Chief Merriman is a instructor through, I believe it's Fire Online. So what we do is he puts out the, whichever classes are available, members sign up for it. Everything is done online as far as coursework. And then the skills training and the final test is actually conducted at Station 1 in the conference room. So
And that's
we,
where you all come in.
yeah, so yes, sir, once we obtain the other certification, but as right now, that's how we are currently doing it. That's how I've obtained my officer 1 and 2, as well as my instructor 1. A lot of us through that program right now, that's how we obtain these instruction or certifications, to where we're not having to send people to Frisco to go take a test, or, you know, to Richwood, or even to COM. We're able to do it
Mhm.
in-house, save money as far as per diem and travel and lodging. We're able to do everything in-house.
And is there a certain courses that you currently operate in for that? Are there only certain courses, certain certifications? Like you said that you have obtained your officer 1 and 2, your inspector 1. You tell me you're I'm sorry, an instructor 1,
Mhm.
instructor 3. What other,
So if you're.
or is that all
So if you're
certification
an instructor, whatever certifications that I have,
you
I'm-
can teach?
I can teach now, to the exception, right? For like, so for hazmat tech,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all that equipment
Sure.
that I would need for the skills test to be able to do.
Okay.
Which in the future, if that was maybe an option, we could purchase equipment like that to be able to do that.
Okay.
But so it is limited to a couple that we can't do.
Okay.
So you all hazmat tech?
Yes, sir.
So do we have within our department resources, equipment to deal with a hazmat incident?
So we got right now 4 gases, and that's pretty much, as of right now, that's the monitors for air sampling.
That's all we have.
We're currently, Briggs is gonna get us a 5 gas, which we're gonna put one on each side of the city, and one's gonna be able to read ammonia and the other one chlorine. And the biggest concern with that is we have one of the biggest plants in Texas City that has ammonia. And it's probably closer to us, to our station, than it is there to their station 3. So that's a huge concern. And then we have the railroad that is constantly bringing hazmat over here. And then obviously IH-45.
You don't, yeah, 45 and Main Street, you don't have the wherewithal to mitigate even the basic hazmat incident? We don't have any 55-gallon drums or any
Negative.
absorball?
We have-
We have absorbent. We have
Yeah.
Kitty
absorbent.
litter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
Do
that.
we have any absorbent pads?
No, sir.
Do we even have a standard operating procedure to deal with we have hazardous chemicals driving through our city? Do we even have standard operating procedures to be on the offensive?
Negative. Right
No
now,
offensive posture.
no, right now
Police
is,
officers would come with equipment.
yeah,
You know, that's the
we
thing.
need the equipment. Right now, we just mitigate, perform a 360, get wind changes, notify our closest mutual aid, which would be, Leak City has a, I guess, part-time hazmat team. And then, we have on our folders, we can call for Fort Bend County hazmat, Harris County hazmat, Houston hazmat.
So if there's a spill in our city on one of our major thoroughfares,
We would have to
Isolate.
mitigate.
can we even contain it?
We could contain it with the kitty litter. That's about it.
And
So
we-
you-
then
just
we
a
would have
barrier
to-
of kitty litter.
We
And
will-
hope for the best.
Well, we
and
can
call
use,
for hazmat mutual. aid.
and it depends, like we
And who's the
can,
closest? I'm sorry.
Leak City, I mean, Texas City has one, but every time we've called, they've never showed
They're
up.
unavailable? Okay.
So, but where there's been times where we have paired up and teamed up with Public Works to where they bring a dozer with dirt. And dirt's a good way.
Oil or
Yeah,
gasoline,
yeah.
we can mitigate that easily.
Sure.
But if we have,
Still hard getting a dozer
It is,
and.
but if we have-
Absolutely.
45 with no
Absolute-
shoulders
absolutely.
and-
a Marque
Absolutely.
or something like that, no, we do not have the resources for and anhydrous ammonia.
Because the last thing we need is that going into our ditches and, you know,
Right,
the
right,
EPA coming at us and,
Right.
A whole lot of people would at that.
oh yeah, absolutely.
That's no good, guys. We gotta, not we like we, but we like we, the people of Lamarck, we gotta do better on that. We can't just have y'all riding around with kitty litter. We gotta be a little bit more assertive and aggressive than that. Being that Texas City is our neighbor, you know?
Yes, sir.
Take it the hazmat incident commander would be a captain or a group of captains,
Absolutely.
all captains.
Well, it just depends on if they're able, if they get
they're
it,
certified.
if they're certified to get it.
Would also that not be and again, you all are union representatives and y'all are not management rights, but we're just kind of having a conversation. Would that also be an opportunity for a deputy chief to be a hazmat since he or she is working on duty during the daytime hours where much of the transport happens, right? So would that also be an opportunity for perhaps the deputy chief to be a hazmat incident commander at some point?
I would say so.
Sure.
Again, that falls on resources that we have.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Like, the guy you mentioned earlier, George McNeil, you know, he found a class in Texas City that didn't cost anything.
A hazmat class?
Yeah,
No.
and
Oh,
he went
wow.
and did one.
Wow,
You
yeah,
know, some of our guys, you know, still got initiative and have it.
yeah.
I think that we have gone over, I mean, I don't know if anybody has any
Yeah, I'm
other
good.
questions, but
I'm
I
good.
think that we've gone over enough. Obviously to digest and chew through and all of the above. I wanted to ask about location, I mean, does this work well for everybody? I
Oh,
think
yes,
it's
absolutely.
easier this way.
Yes, sir.
I know the six of us haven't gone through this, even if y'all have or if they have. And so I want to make a place to where obviously we're digging through operations, we're digging through our responsibility to the union and whatnot, obviously comfortability, and the efforts to be informative to anybody, you know, watching or viewing this. I want to make sure that we're all good and to go. For our next session, I think one of the things, I don't know if we're all, if it would all be appropriate, I think y'all would probably have to look at your shift days and all of the above, but I would say, President Chandler, if I can, how we have even got through today, if, you know, through the city, you and I can work through, I'll leave it up to your guys to find a day. I liked how we did this to where we threw out a few different slots.
Okay.
I think it's easier, you know, it's easier for me. I'll be honest with you that, you know, okay, this day, everybody, and then we just kind of go for it. I knew today was, again, more so y'all submitting this, more of the formality of us going over ground rules. Again, I thank y'all for your commitment that you have to your union, to your department and all the above. But if we can just coordinate time, I think we have a good place for these as they kind of unfold. And so, but other than that, I will either be in touch with you through my assistant, through HR, however we did it before,
Okay.
but make sure that we do that appropriately.
If everyone agrees, so last time what I did was I submitted, I want to say it was like 5 or 6, 7 days throughout the month,
Yeah.
for this whole month. So that way everybody could look at them and see what days work, if we all are good with that. So I'll do that for May.
That works.
Okay.
And you all didn't see this, but Gus has been nagging at me, and I know y'all couldn't see it. He had so many questions, so many questions. And one of them was, he said, Mayor, you probably should let the people know all of their proposal and then go over a few of the ground rules so that we're all on the same page. I'm gonna do this really quickly. One of you all's proposals, the one that we didn't talk about, was a 7% pay increase. It is over 3 years, and what it looks like is a cost of living raise, 2% in 26, 2% in 27, 3% in 28. I wanted to just put that on the record, the residents, so that they can be thinking about,
Yes, sir.
this with us.
One of the things I will say about the 2%, the 7%, one, that's lower than the national standard.
Absolutely.
You know, last negotiation, y'all worked with us and gave us a substantial raise to bring us up to par. We noticed and realized, we wanted to work with the city. We're not coming in here asking and trying to bankrupt and make us the most highest paid. With the 7% increase throughout the board, we spoke with our members. This is just to stay current with the
Cost of living.
cost of living
Mhm.
throughout the nation. So we figured, the 223 was a good start off, because I could be wrong, last time I checked, I believe it was between 2.3 and almost 4% was the national standard.
Standard.
So this is well below that, because that would be anywhere from 9, 10 to almost 12%.
Absolutely. The second thing I wanted to say to us in the room and to those that are listening, there are 3 very important ground rules, so that we're all on the same page.
Yes.
After this meeting today, April 22nd, there will only be 3 other meetings, right, Gus?
Correct.
That we can add new proposals.
Yes.
After that 3rd meeting, there will be no new proposals from either side. This one is important. Contact with city council members. The association bargaining team agrees that its members shall not contact or direct or encourage contact with any member of city council of the city of Lamarck, Texas during any stage of the negotiations for discussion of any issue relating to the negotiations or for the purpose of affecting negotiations without mutual consent of both negotiating teams. And the 3rd, both parties agree that negotiations will be conducted at the negotiating table and that neither party intends to conduct negotiations through the media. So these are all standard, but we wanted to make sure that these are on record and that the people of Lamarck understand the ground rules as they relate to this negotiation.
And on the contact, that applies to us as well, to your members.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't.
Very good. Mr. Pritchett, you are going to be in contact with Mr. Chandler to set up further meeting dates. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. Anything else? Gus? Avery? I'm teasing Avery. Gentlemen, anything else?
No, I just say, we look forward to working with y'all, and one, not only to better our department, but make it to where the citizens are getting more highly trained firefighters than what we already have.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Please relay that message to the rest of the department. We are ecstatic about your service, and we look forward to many, many more years of the Lamarck Fire Department, in particular, the local 3282, leading the way and standing in the gap for us. There's nothing further. This meeting is adjourned.